I woke up in the middle of the night needing to use the bathroom and saw two ghosts chatting by the window. A little girl said, "Everyone's asleep. Boring." A middle-aged woman replied, "Says who? One just woke up." Terrified, I shut my eyes and started shaking all over. Then the little girl said, "She's asleep again." The woman sighed. "Ugh, I was just about to tell her how to get rich. Looks like it's not meant to be." My heart skipped a beat. I'd heard stories about ghosts bringing fortune spirits showing up to hand you money. Did I just miss out on billions? Just as I was thinking that, I heard the girl again. "The bag of money under the artificial lake bridge is gonna rot if no one grabs it soon." Shh, stop blabbing. Shouldn't have brought you. Let's go. Then silence. I slowly opened my eyes. They were gone. The next morning, our roommate Jessica Miller did her usual fortune-telling ritual for all of us: what color to wear, what to avoid. But when it was my turn, she frowned and said I was in for a bloody disaster. I didn't buy it. Jessica checked the hexagrams again and said I'd drown. That freaked me out. I had planned to check out the bridge over the school's artificial lake. The water's not even deep. How would anyone drown? I hesitated, then told Jessica what I saw last night. Jessica instantly panicked. "Are you stupid? That wasn't some ghost handing out wealth. That was two water spirits baiting you to be their substitute." I broke into a cold sweat. Thank God for a roommate who knew her stuff. Otherwise, I'd be dead already. But our other roommate, Anna, didn't believe any of it. She snuck out alone to the bridge and actually found something, a rotting black plastic bag stuffed with bundles of $100 bills, 10 stacks in all. She screamed that she'd struck gold. I was so mad it gave me chest pain. I snapped at Jessica. "Didn't you say those ghosts were looking for a substitute? Then what the hell is going on?" Jessica pursed her lips. "Anna's fine doesn't mean you would have been. Her fortune did show a windfall today." I exploded. "That was supposed to be my windfall. That's 100 grand. So who does it belong to?" Anna freaked out when she heard about splitting the money. "It's obviously mine. I spent all morning in the water digging it up. How could it be yours? If I hadn't told you, would you have even known it was there? Then why didn't you go get it yourself?" "Oh right, because you were scared to die." I had no words. I turned back to Jessica. "So, what now? You tell me." Jessica said, "Your weakest link is your wealth luck. No fate for windfalls. You would have died for sure." I got even angrier. If I had no fate for windfalls, why did those two ghosts try to give me money? Jessica said, "They were trying to claim your life. I was saving you." "I don't need saving. I only listen to your fortune stuff for fun. You think you're some kind of oracle?" Tears welled up in Jessica's eyes. She looked wounded. That's when our roommate, Emily Carter, said, "Enough already. Honestly, Anna should give Isabel Lopez a cut. Don't be so selfish." Anna immediately threw $1,000 at me. "You want money? Take it!" I stormed out, slamming the door. That night, when I got back, Anna had bought a new phone, a new laptop, and even my favorite Chanel bag. The worst part? She got Jessica and Emily the newest Prada lipsticks. That should have all been mine. Even the gratitude and attention should have been mine. But I had nothing. And to top it off, Anna moved into a luxury apartment and left me with, "Living with a greedy person like you brings bad luck." I was so mad I shook under the covers. I even started wondering if the three of them were plotting against me. The more I thought about it, the worse I felt. Late into the night, I half dreamt those two ghosts were talking again. "Everyone's asleep." "Boring," the little girl said. The woman sighed. "We were gonna give her another shot at a fortune, but I guess it's just not meant to be. My heart jumped. I almost sat up to accept my fate, but then I reminded myself they're ghosts. I couldn't just act rashly. Just then, the girl whispered again. Under the third pillar of the octagonal pavilion in the lake, there are 10 gold bars. When they were digging the lake, they missed it by 1 shovel. Such a shame. Shh, that's a secret, meant only for the chosen. Keep talking, and we'll get punished. I never should have brought you. Then silence again. I peeked gone. My heart raced. 10 gold bars? That's millions. Who says I have no windfall fate? What's mine will always find me. I got out of bed, ready to go dig up those bars that night. But the moment I got dressed, Jessica stood in the doorway. Those 2 water ghosts won't let you go that easy. That gold is an even bigger trap. I froze. How did she know they'd come back? I didn't want to lose this chance, so I said I was going for a night run to clear my head, never saw any ghosts. Jessica grabbed my arm. Haven't you wondered why, out of all 4 of us, only you can hear them? They're clearly targeting you. And come on, no spirit hands out fortunes every night, each time more tempting. They're baiting you. Then, she showed me her phone. A news article from 3 years ago, a woman and a young girl drowned in our school lake. I looked at the pictures. They really did resemble the shadows I saw. I panicked. But why were they fixated on me? Jessica was about to speak when her eyes darted to the window. They're still here. If I say too much, we'll both die. My legs gave out. But damn, those gold bars. It'd be a shame to let them go. I suggested Jessica go get them. We'd split the loot. Her family's been practicing Taoism for generations. Surely she'd know how to break the curse. But Jessica flatly refused. There's no gold. Anyone who goes will die. I broke out in another cold sweat. That night, when I got back to the dorm, Emily was gone. Her luggage, too. I tried contacting her, WeChat deleted. Even her phone number was changed. I freaked. Sure enough, next day, the news spread that Emily had found 10 gold bars in the lake, said to be from the late Tang dynasty worth millions. I confronted Jessica. Did you tell Emily? And split the gold with her behind my back? Jessica looked hurt. They knew I was trying to protect you, so they spread the rumor to drive a wedge between us. Once we fought, they'd have their chance. I was furious, but it kinda made sense. What I didn't expect was for Emily's luxury cars and mansions to go viral online the very next day. Suddenly, everyone at school was diving into the lake, students, teachers, everyone. The school drained the lake and put up fences to stop people. Secretly, they sent a search team in. I lost it. I grabbed Jessica and yelled, "What the hell do we do now?" Strangely, she didn't answer. Just muttered, "Whatever you do, don't drink milk tea." I was dumbfounded. What does milk tea have to do with anything? And why wasn't she answering my real question? Next thing I knew, Jessica was packing. I grabbed her. "What are you doing? You can't leave without explaining this." She sighed. "Water spirits give you 3 chances. That means they'll come back. This time the bait will be even bigger. I have to leave before I get involved again." And with that, she moved out. I didn't know whether to feel relieved or betrayed. Why was Jessica the only one in the whole school not tempted by all that money? Why me? Why would those water spirits go all in just for me? But then again, even the school believed it. I couldn't exactly say the admin was full of idiots. Besides, the lake was dry now. There was no water left, no chance for them to drown me. I wanted to see what that third chance looked like, but over 2 weeks passed nothing. I got anxious. Was that it? Weren't there supposed to be 3 chances? Did I just miss my divine fortune? While I lay there, restless, unable to sleep, they came back. This time, they were sitting right on my bed, reeking of burnt paper. The little girl kicked her legs and said, "So weird. There's no one here." I froze. "But I'm right here alive and breathing. How could they say there's no one here?" The middle-aged woman sighed and said, "Isn't that a corpse lying there?" My mind exploded. How could I be a corpse? The little girl said, "Shouldn't corpses smell, though?" The woman sighed again. "A person with both fate and fortune is alive. With only fate but no fortune, you're a ghost. Her fate's been stolen, Clen. She's someone with fate but no fortune. Basically a walking corpse. Of course, she has no human essence left." I totally panicked. I didn't care if they were ghosts anymore, I just wanted answers. I tried to sit up, but couldn't move a muscle. That's when I realized I was being pinned down by a ghost. All I could do was listen to their conversation. The little girl said, "No wonder we gave her 2 chances and she couldn't take either. Turns out someone stole her fortune." The woman sighed again. "What's worse, she won't live past tomorrow. No matter how much wealth we offer her, it's meaningless. Let's go." The little girl paused, then said, "Tomorrow's Meng Po Day. At noon, she'll be selling milk tea. Ghosts who drink it ascend, humans who drink it awaken. That's her chance to get her fortune back." The woman cut in immediately. "You can't just spill heaven's secrets like that. I never should have brought you. Let's go." And they vanished. I suddenly jolted up from my paralysis, drenched in sweat. My first instinct was to sniff my arm. All I smelled was body wash. I mean, how would I even know what human scent is supposed to be? But a chill ran down my spine. I tried to calm myself down. If those ghosts wanted me as a substitute, why go through all this trouble? And without Jessica around to stop them, they had 1,000 ways to drag me under. Why talk about my fate at all? And I'd never heard of water ghosts needing someone's birth chart to swap places. Then it hit me, Jessica. Out of everyone, I'd only told her my birth details, and she insisted on reading our fortunes every day since school started. Could she have had another motive? And she just left without hesitation. Maybe she knew I'd die tomorrow and wanted to distance herself to avoid suspicion. That warning about not drinking milk tea, was it to keep me from reclaiming my fate? I broke out in another cold sweat. If I suspected Jessica, I couldn't also distrust those 2 ghosts. Plus, losing out twice already had made me desperate. If I missed this chance, I wouldn't just lose money, I'd lose my life. So I decided to take the risk. After all, Meng Po is a deity of the underworld. No ghost would dare mess around on her day. I found the nearest Meng Po temple on a map and went there first thing in the morning to burn incense and pray. But it turned out to be a rundown little shrine, abandoned for years. Moldy fruits and stale pastries sat at the altar. I realized no one really worships Meng Po anymore. The place was creepy as hell. I burned some incense, bowed, dropped 100 yuan donation, and left quickly. Just as I stepped outside, a hunched old woman appeared. "Hey girl, want some milk tea?" My heart jumped. This had to be Meng Po. I dropped to my knees, bowed 3 times, and took the cup. I drank a big gulp and immediately felt a surge of warmth, like my fortune was returning. I popped the lid, ready to finish it in one go. But just then, someone grabbed my arm. "Don't drink that!" I turned around. It was an old Taoist priest. "That's corpse belly water from a water ghost. Drink it, and you're dead." I looked at the cup again. Now it was murky green, reeking of rot, with squirming larvae and decaying weeds. I screamed and threw it away, vomiting non-stop. "What the hell is going on?" I asked. He said every water ghost can only find a substitute in the water where they died. If that place dries up, They use corpse belly water instead. "Looks like a water ghost has targeted you," he said. My brain fried. But how could they do this in front of a deity's temple? The Taoist said, "This temple hasn't been worshipped in ages. It's been taken over by evil spirits. You thought you were praying to a god, but you were actually bowing to a ghost. You practically handed yourself over." My legs gave out. I begged him to save me. He stared at the top of my head for a moment, then his face darkened. "Kid, your crown is glowing blue. That's a sign someone stole your fate." I broke down completely. So Jessica had betrayed me too. Who could I trust now? The priest stroked his beard. To be targeted by both ghosts and people, your birth chart must be extremely rare. Tell me your details. I blurted out my birth chart. He calculated for a moment, then frowned. "Kid, you don't trust me?" I quickly said he was the only one I could trust now. "This chart belongs to someone who's been dead for at least 10 years. He really was skilled. I'd given him my grandfather's chart." I apologized immediately. The priest understood. After working out my real birth chart, he sighed. "Makes sense now." I didn't get it. He asked, "Do you often ask people to read your fortune, especially for wealth?" I told him about Jessica reading my chart every day. "And what did she say about your wealth?" "She said I had the weakest wealth fate she'd ever seen, like a broken vault with no financial luck." The priest stroked his beard. "Exactly. That's how she stole your fate." I was confused. "Why steal something that's supposedly worthless?" He sighed. "Your chart is filled with hidden wealth. It's a once-in-a-century configuration. Starting this September, you'll enter 30 years of prosperity. Whether it's regular or unexpected income, money will flow your way even if you do nothing. But fortune tellers are cursed by 5 misfortunes and 3 lack of life, money, and love. Your roommate clearly lacks money. Any fortune teller would be jealous of your chart." So she started reading yin hexagrams readings for the dead. 100 days of it lets her steal your fate. My head exploded. I counted back from the start of school exactly 100 days today. My knees gave out. I couldn't believe my own roommate could be that kind of person. But what about the 2 ghosts? The priest sighed. "Yang hexagrams are for the living. Yin ones are for the dead. Because you weren't dead, she needed ghost assistants to read yin hexagrams. Lucky for her, your school lake had 2 water ghosts, and their 3-year search for a substitute was up. If they found a normal person, that soul would reincarnate as an animal. But someone with fate but no fortune could reincarnate as human, so they teamed up to trap you." "Then why did Jessica keep stopping them from luring me?" I asked. The priest said, "Everything comes in 3 bows to a god, for example. Today is the 3rd time. Why do you think Jessica warned you not to drink the corpse belly water?" He smirked. "It takes both roles to stage a drama. Otherwise, how else would they get you to drink?" It finally clicked. I dropped to my knees, begging him to save me. He pulled out a talisman, pricked my ring finger with a silver needle, and let a drop of blood fall onto it. With a wave, the talisman burst into flames. He dissolved the ashes in a small bamboo tube filled with water, capped it, and handed it to me. "Retrace your steps. Keep repeating your name in your head. No matter what you hear, don't look back. Once you see a little turtle, pour this water on its shell. That'll return your fate. I'll handle the rest." I memorized every word, but as I walked back to the dorm, I didn't hear a single sound behind me. No turtle either. I started panicking again. Had I fallen for another trick? Everything the priest said made sense, but what kind of backwater place has a Taoist master just show up like that? And I actually gave him my birth chart and even my blood. What if that talisman was some soul-snatching charm? The more I thought about it, the worse it got. But then I reminded myself blind faith and blind doubt are equally foolish. Maybe I just needed to wait. I kept trying to stay calm. But night fell, and still nothing. I stared at the bamboo tube, holding my fate in its water. Then a thought hit me that made my blood run cold. Drowning my birth chart in water. Did that mean I drowned myself? Did that make me the water ghost substitute after all? What if the priest was one of them? He snatched me from the others, fed me some spooky logic, and now I was just sitting here waiting to die. I lost it. I had to find Jessica. She was the only loose end left. If she didn't answer, it meant the priest was right. She had my fate and wanted no ties to me. But if she agreed to see me, that meant the priest was the one lying. She was my last hope. I called her, said I'd been harsh, and wanted to apologize in person. To my surprise, she gave me her address without hesitation. But she told me one weird thing. When I came upstairs, I had to walk backward. I asked why. She said, "Just do it. Don't ask." My skin crawled. Did Jessica know what happened with the priest? Was walking backward some counterspell? Or was she warning me how to undo his trap? I thought I'd found salvation. But now, I was lost again. Still, it was better than waiting around to die. I reached her building and turned to walk backward when I heard the little girl ghost behind me. "Don't walk backward. You'll die." My hair stood on end. According to Jessica, I should turn around now. But the priest said never turn back, no matter what. And this ghost picked the perfect time to show up. Should I turn around? Then I thought, the priest said don't look back. Now the ghost says the same. Are they working together? But the priest said Jessica and the ghosts were in cahoots. So is the priest betraying his own team? Or have Jessica and the ghosts had a falling out? Then I heard the middle-aged ghost behind me say, "Stop talking. We'll be punished for this." Punishment? Who would punish them? Suddenly, the little girl burst into tears. "Mom, weren't we here to repay a kindness? Who cares if we get punished? Repay? I didn't even know them what kindness." The middle-aged woman spoke again, sternly. "Stop it. No more nonsense. You'll only hurt her this way. Come, let's go." Then she scooped up the girl and left. But I could still hear the girl wailing, "Sister, please don't walk backward. You'll really die." Sister? Why was she calling me sister? I was getting more confused by the second. Just then, my phone rang. It was Jessica. I hesitated, then told her everything that was happening. She panicked. "Don't walk forward. You'll die. Please, trust me." I was going crazy. Forward meant death. Backward meant death. Was there no way out of this? I demanded to know why I had to walk backward. Jessica said, "Those two water ghosts are still with you. If I explain too much, they'll hear it. We'll both die. Just get inside and I'll explain everything. Hurry, there's no time." That sealed it. I had to trust someone. At least Jessica was human. The others were ghosts or worse. If Jessica wanted to hurt me, she wouldn't be so obvious about it. But if a ghost wanted me dead, it could happen any time, without warning. So, I chose to believe Jessica. At least this way, I might buy myself a few more seconds of life. I shut my eyes, turned around, and started walking backward up the stairs. Thankfully, Jessica was at her door guiding me in. I made it into her apartment safely. She slammed the door shut and slapped a talisman on it. I let out a deep breath. I asked her what the hell was going on. Tears welled up in Jessica's eyes. "I was so scared something would happen to you. I drew a divination. It said you were already dead. My soul nearly left my body. "But I'm standing right here," Jessica replied. "You've already been dragged off as a substitute by the water ghosts." "No way. Was that old Taoist really a ghost too?" "Drowning. My birth info in water was like drowning me." I was about to tell Jessica everything when I noticed a turtle shell on her desk. "That's what she always used for her readings," she said. "Turtle shells gave the clearest signs." "Was that the little turtle the Taoist told me to find?" Maybe he didn't know Jessica had moved. That's why nothing happened on my way back, because I went the wrong direction. When I reached Jessica's new place, that's when the ghosts reappeared. Had I misjudged the Taoist? Had Jessica tricked me instead? Panic surged through me. I'd turned around, earlier did that mean I was doomed? But I'd kept my eyes shut, didn't see or hear anything. Maybe that wasn't a full violation. Maybe I still had a chance. Then Jessica suddenly dragged me to the turtle shell, pulled out a silver needle, and said, "Quick, drip a drop of blood onto the shell." Instinctively, I recoiled. Blood again? Jessica grew more urgent. If I hadn't used this 1,000-year-old turtle shell to set up a heavenly astral formation to guard your birth fate, you wouldn't have made it here alive. I couldn't tell what was good or bad anymore. I collapsed to my knees. "Jessica, if you're gonna kill me, just do it. Stop torturing me. I'm too tired to think anymore." Jessica looked stunned. "Are you crazy? I've been trying to save you." I couldn't take it anymore and told her everything about the Taoist. Jessica's face turned pale. There was no Taoist, no Meng Po. That was the water ghosts in disguise. I was stunned. "But why would that Taoist stop me from drinking corpse belly water?" Jessica said. "I already used the turtle shell to lock down your birth chart. Drinking that water wouldn't have worked for the substitution anymore. Look closely, the red paper under the shell has your birth details." She continued. "Water ghosts can't use someone without a birth fate. Dragging them under is like dragging down raw meat. It doesn't work. So they had to get your chart. Soaking it in the charm water for 3 hours seals the deal. Even the gods can't save you. That's why I told you to walk backward. Ghosts can only follow people who walk forward. Step by step, you walked away from them. Now do you get it?" I understood, but I still couldn't believe I was alive. "Why did your divination say I'm dead?" Jessica dragged me to the mirror. "See for yourself." My knees buckled. In the mirror, my head was bowed, my body dripping wet, face pale as death. I looked like a drowned corpse. I dropped to my knees. "Please, Jessica, save me." She helped me up and pulled out the silver needle again. "Only your blood from the ring finger can activate the formation and save your life. Once they miss this third chance, those ghosts can never touch you again." Without hesitation, I took the needle, pricked my finger, and let a drop fall onto the center of the turtle shell. It absorbed the blood instantly. Jessica let out a long sigh of relief, then led me back to the mirror. Sure enough, color returned to my cheeks, and the water stopped dripping. Only then did I start to relax. Jessica told me my original spirit was still in the dorm. I had to lie in bed and stay still until dawn. No matter what I heard, I couldn't open my eyes or respond. If I made it till sunrise, I'd be saved. I kept it in mind, but as soon as I left, I booked a hotel room. I wasn't going back to that dorm to die. Jessica was suspicious. My only hope now was the 2 ghosts. They said they were here to repay a debt. I didn't know what debt, but it might be my only chance. I curled up on the hotel sofa, watching the window, waiting for them to reappear. Time dragged by. Just when I thought they weren't coming, I felt a tug on my sleeve. I jumped and saw the little girl standing right beside me. I instinctively pulled back, she said. "Sister, don't be afraid. I'm not a water ghost." I'm not here to make you a substitute. I trembled. Why should I believe you? She smiled. Water ghosts smell like goat. Earthbound ghosts like burnt paper. Smell me if you don't believe it. She stepped closer, raising her hand. I backed away again. Doesn't matter what kind you are, you're still a ghost. The girl looked up. Sister, you really don't recognize me? I'm Julia. That didn't ring a bell. 3 years ago, I had leukemia. You donated a ton of money to help me. Suddenly it clicked. 3 years ago, I saw a news story about a girl with leukemia. Her mom, desperate and broke, almost jumped into a river with her. I felt so bad, I donated all the New Year money I'd saved over the years. But then my dad went bankrupt. We moved constantly to dodge debt, and I forgot all about it. The girl said the treatments couldn't save Hershey. Died within 2 years. Her mom hanged herself shortly after. But their resentment was too heavy to reincarnate. So the underworld granted them a special pass to return and repay their debt to bring fortune to those who helped them. The only rule was they couldn't reveal their identities or break heaven's secrets, or they'd be punished. That's when I realized the money, the gold barset, was all real. Jessica had been lying to me. Just then, Julia's mother appeared, holding a white cloth. She bowed deeply in apology. She said they'd tried twice to give me wealth, but I missed both. When they discovered someone was using yin hexagrams to steal my fate, they begged Mengpo for a cup of soul recovery tea to help me reclaim it. But a stronger water ghost intervened. They couldn't fight him, and had to watch helplessly as I walked toward death. When I got to Jessica's building, her daughter risked everything to stop me. But her mom hesitated, afraid her daughter would be punished for revealing herself. Worse, Jessica might destroy them both. As ghosts, dying again meant becoming May, cursed spirits. Once you become a May, reincarnating as a human could take hundreds, maybe thousands of years. But her daughter wouldn't give up. Even if I become Si, Yi, or Wei, I won't let my benefactor be killed. What kind of gratitude would that be otherwise? Her resolve hardened. She unfolded the white cloth. In the center was a red symbol, Hu, Shao. Water ghosts fear this word, especially when written in Black Pig's blood. But Jessica wasn't that easy to handle. She'd used the turtle shell to form an earth fiend formation that locked my birth fate. And I'd added ring finger blood known as ghost blood. Once it's soaked in, low-level ghosts like them couldn't change the outcome. So they went to the city god temple for help. But the underworld wouldn't intervene in mortal affairs. Desperate, they entered a cop's dream, but he just treated it as a nightmare and laughed it off. Then they spent money to hire fierce ghosts, but none dared cross Jessica. We're not afraid to die again, she said. But if we can't get your fate back, please don't hate us. Tears streamed down my face. I hugged the little girl tightly. This time, let me save you too. The two of them froze. I kicked Jessica's door open. She was meditating inside the formation. When she saw me, she didn't panic, just let out a long sigh. The one thing I was afraid of still happened. I didn't hold back. Cut the act. Water ghosts smell like goat. Earthbound ghosts smell like burnt paper. When you claimed the Taoist was one of those two ghosts, you slipped up. A single ghost can't have two different scents. Jessica's face twisted. Didn't think you'd be this clever. But it's too late. You're already dead. I smirked. If blood from the ring finger is ghost blood, then middle finger blood must be divine blood. Wonder what happens to your earth fiend yin formation when it touches that. Jessica lost it. No wonder my incantations haven't worked. You trickster! Jack, kill her! A green-skinned, red-haired water ghost with a long tongue appeared out of thin air and lunged at me. I immediately unwrapped the white cloth with the word Sal and flung it over the ghost. It twisted midair, slammed into the ground, and melted into a puddle of black water. Jessica was stunned. Just then, thunder rolled and dark clouds filled the sky. I knew Jessica was about to face divine backlash. She panicked and dropped to her knees. Isabel, I know stealing your birth fate was wrong, but everything you've seen so far, it's all an illusion. Just bow 3 times to this turtle shell, and I'll tell you the truth. I couldn't believe she still had the nerve to say that. Another thunderclap exploded outside, lightning flashing near the window. Jessica completely broke down, sobbing. The truth is, I foresaw those earthbound ghosts coming for revenge. Your incredible fate would be wasted. That's when I got greedy and tried to steal it before they killed you. Now, you figured out my plan, but we've both been played. They tricked both of us. We're all going to die. I cursed her for her shamelessness blaming others, even while facing divine retribution. Jessica grew more desperate. One of them was wrongly killed, the other hanged herself. They're both vengeful spirits. They don't remember kindness, only hate. How can you not see that? Her words rattled me, but I donated money to them. Even if that's not a huge favor, it's not a crime either. That's what I thought too. But now I realize they want your fate. Her daughter's cursed. No matter how many lives she lives, she's doomed to suffer. So her mother wants her to be reborn using your body and your prosperous fate. And I, blind to the truth, tried to steal it for myself. Now they want to use you to kill me. If I die from that lightning strike, you're next. Jessica's words shook me again. Another bolt nearly struck her head. She hit the ground in terror, crying, "Isabel, I know it's hard to trust me, but think if I hadn't interfered, you'd already be dead. Besides, my powers are gone. I can't hurt you anymore. But as long as I'm here, they won't dare touch you. Let's form a standoff. Then you'll see who's telling the truth." I was swayed. Keeping things balanced for now felt safer than acting on impulse. I just wanted to survive. As I hesitated, about to bow to the turtle shell, the little girl appeared. "Sister, don't trust her. If you bow, you're giving her your birth fate. The backlash will end, but you'll die." Suddenly, everything made sense. Jessica snapped. "You little brat. This is how you repay your savior? If I'm going down, I'm taking you first." She pulled a peachwood sword and swung at the girl. I jumped in front of her to shield her. Just as Jessica was about to strike, lightning hit her square in the head. She died instantly, but then her soul floated up from her body. Jessica turned into a vengeful ghost and lunged at the girl again. Her mother appeared, grabbed her soul, and tore it to shreds. Jessica died a second death, becoming a maidened for centuries. I pointed at Jessica's lifeless body. When she said she'd save you again, she meant letting you use her body to live. You're a good child. You deserve to live a happy life. The girl smiled and ran over, merging into Jessica's body. A few seconds later, Jessica sat up. No, it was Julia now. Her mother dropped to her knees and bowed 3 times, full of gratitude. Julia grabbed my hand, grinning. "Sister, I want to take you somewhere cool. Behind the school, there's a remote cave. Inside are hundreds of boxes full of cash. A corrupt official hid it there before he died. No one knows about it. We can spend it however we want." I was beyond thrilled. Good deeds really do come full circle. I hugged Julia tight. "Thank you, Julia." She hugged me back even tighter. "Don't thank me, Mom." I froze, completely stunned.